Now we'll be moving to the professional career section. So what was Dr. Almekdash's first job, and how did this job impacted who you are today?
Yes, so basically I started my career back home as a language teacher, trainer for TESOL, trainer for, the TOEFL test, international exams, and general language courses. That was my gateway to get to the world, language, and I still love doing that immensely. That's great. I learned a lot from that, let's say field. I learned how to communicate, how to negotiate for meaning, how to try to explain and simplify something. So this is until I came to the United States. My second career transition was when I started doing statistics, graduate studies. I became a research assistant, basically a statistician for my great advisor and professor. Here I started now to tackle real research projects. So we worked on a large grant with a large data set for 3 years. And this is large data set, for the state. And this influenced my dissertation goals. And in addition to coursework, I was applying all of that on actual real life data, and I collaborated with statisticians or methodologists in Texas Tech and outside Texas Tech, to learn and to share ideas, to share information. So that was a great experience for me. So I would say since, the middle of 2013, I made this shift. There was a professor who got me really interested in statistics, and he was in testing in applied linguistics. And this professor challenged me to learn and to go explore. And that was the best thing that happened to me, I think, in 2013.
Yes, absolutely. If it does not challenge you, it won't change you.
Exactly.
Yes. So by that, how long have you been working in the industry, in this field?
So in statistics, you can say I was working in it since 2014. In biostatistics since 2019, I made this shift, As I told you, statistics is transferable. So to the audience, statistics, data science, these are transferable skill sets. You can transfer them anywhere you want. So say Dr. Ahmed wants me to work on studying engineering, you can transfer this skill set for engineering. You want to do policy design. The state wants you to do some analysis for their higher education policy or other policies, then you can transfer it. So in biostatistics, I was a professional full-time biostatistician, my current position and role since May 2019.
Yes. Great, doctor. And yes, concerning the transferable skills, now the recent trend, even engineers are trying to learn new skills in data science and coding.
Exactly, because, as I told you, that is going to be the future of, in my opinion, of course, that's the future of all fields. Like now in my field, higher education, you just go to Google Scholar and you will find a lot of publication about neural networks, deep learning, supervised artificial intelligence. It's in the United States, you find it in education field, economics, psychology, everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. So now for the professionals outside the field of statistics and maybe students who are willing to pursue a career or mainly study biostatistics and a minor in biostatistics, they might ask, what are the main job duties and responsibilities of a biostatistician? And what are the skills required from a biostatistician to succeed in his or her work?
Okay, so here I want to stress something that sometimes we forget about while we are in training. So to be successful and to be successful in the job market, you should focus on your soft and hard skills. So I will elaborate on this in a little bit. So your duties and responsibilities will be to be as summarize it, methodologist on studies. People will come to you telling you, how your statistical analysis plan will affect my design, or what is the design for this study? I want to compare 3 groups on a variable, and then I want to control for these categorical and continuous factors. What design is this? What should we do? How we calculate sample size for this? So you should be able, to translate research ideas into actionable items, like things that you can tackle and analyze to produce results and share with the world. So that's your main skill. A lot of people come to me with great ideas sometimes, like really, really great ideas, but they lack the tool. This is the tool of the biostatistician now and research methodologist to make it in an actual research project. Because sometimes the design is complicated, like in statistics, you have simple designs, highly complicated designs. So they need your help and your sincere help. So this is your main job, to translate research ideas into doable, analyzable, like things you can report type of projects. So this is what you need to do. Education. So you should, of course, take statistic courses, like you start with the intro level courses, you go to the intermediate level courses. These are like divided in the United States well. So your mentor or your supervisor will put you on track, especially if you have a great supervisor or great statistician supervising you, they will tell you what type of courses to take. And of course, you should be a self-learner because you will never learn everything in a single course. Now, once you hit the advanced level in statistics, you might start, to focus more, depending on your career goals, focus more on math classes again, like you might need to do some calculus, you might need to do some, mostly calculus and linear algebra. If you want to work on your own methodology, or you want to improve some novel methodology, that can be also done, at some stage in your career. But as I told you, find a good mentor, a mentor who can guide you, because you can get lost easily. There are 1,000 stat class on any US campus, or any good university. You will have tons of classes. You need a lifetime to finish. So really what I need to take, and then practice to see how. Of course, every time you take a course, real life is different. Real life data, real life analysis, you will find challenges and problems you didn't face in a course. So here where practice comes into effect, and your love of the field, you love to discover, you love to read about and find solutions to these problems. Now, soft skills, guys. So a lot of people get absorbed in this, like, I want to study statistics, but they forget about their language skills. They forget about presentation skills. They forget about negotiation skills. Most of the time, you will work with people who are not statisticians. So you need to be convincing. You need to be a good presenter. You need to make sure that people understand what you're talking about. If you are the greatest mathematician or statistician in the universe, and then research partners do not make sense of what you say, because of linguistic reasons, or because of presentation skill reasons, or because of the way you convey research findings, then that's useless. So focus on soft skills, language, presentation skills, public speaking, how to conduct yourself professionally, how to write a good CV, cover letter, etc. These are crucial to get some training in.
So, Doctor, by that, can you describe a typical workday?
Okay, so basically, I get a lot of emails. The first 2 hours in my day to 3 hours, sometimes I'm replying to all the research partners. We cover a lot of campuses over West Texas. So from Odessa to Amarillo to Dallas to Lubbock, So basically, we have a lot of requests, and you have a lot of researchers, asking questions, or requesting, status of their studies, so on. So I do my communications first. Then, I move to the study review or protocol in medical context review phase. So basically, you get protocols. These are the requests. Hey, I have this research idea. We have this background. We have this, concept. We want your input on the statistical analysis, how to analyze this, or write this analysis plan. And do sample size calculation for us, tell us if we have the appropriate design for study, what your ideas are on the design, etc. So this is the the second part of my day. And sometimes I do training instead of this, or lecturing, so protocol revisions or training or lecturing. Then a main part, this is like, half my day is analysis and reporting. Basically, this is the key thing, like what people want from you most of the time is the results. Show me the results, what happened with the results. So that's an important part of the day. I spent a lot of nights reading and learning. So I work on my math skills every day. I work on my programming skills almost on daily basis. So I see what's going on in R, what's going on in M+, what's going on with the Stata software. So if there is a new article or a new version, I need to be familiar with what's going on.
Oh, interesting, Doctor. You're always an active learner.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you should always be a kid. I describe myself as a kid. I'm curious about knowledge. So sometimes I spend like a whole night just thinking about the probability of thunder to strike my house. And then I model it, like I model this probability mathematically just with mathematic assumption. That's a good exercise, And sometimes I'm playing, darts with my daughter. And then let's calculate the probability of hitting like 100 this time. So we do it all the time. It also helps my kids get curious about knowledge, not only myself, but be a kid about knowledge, about learning, be curious. There is a value in everything, and that's great.
I think this stems from your passion for statistics.
Exactly. I'm passionate about statistics. Main goal for studying this, because someday I want to help transform my home country, Syria, because I think we can do a lot more better in this regard, especially in government, on the government sector, on the private sector, on the industry, science. Hopefully when Syria is like stable again, that was main goal for me.
Yes, hopefully. Now, Doctor, moving to the career challenges. What are the main challenges that you have faced or you have been facing during your career?
Well, I was lucky. I would say I was lucky and blessed. I didn't face a lot of challenges, like a lot of big challenges so far. Of course, you can always face challenges. So basically, I would say I didn't face a challenge as I'm a US citizen now, a proud US citizen. But even when I wasn't a US citizen, I didn't face any challenges or big problems or anything because of my country of origin or anything like that. I think, the fast pace of life here sometimes is something you need to get used to and get accustomed to and, improve yourself, be, as I told you, flexible to adapt to change. I understand the United States is a very competitive country, and your skills and what is what will get you a job in 90% of the cases. So always try to, that's why I'm working on my skills, so I am not redundant someday or obsolete. I don't want to be obsolete. Oh, the packages are outdated, or the techniques are outdated. So that's why you should keep investing in yourself.
Yes, absolutely. So you're a lucky doctor. You didn't face major challenges.
Yes, absolutely. I consider myself lucky and blessed, sure.
So moving to your achievements, what are an achievement or achievements that you would like to share with us that you are most proud of? And what do you think has been your biggest success factor behind these achievements?
Well, so as I told you, I don't consider myself yet where I want to be, honestly. I have big dreams, sometimes too big dreams, but there is a big value in too big, to dream to very high, let's say. So to have your wagon attached to a star, there is a big value in this. So some achievements, of course, every program I went to, I was the highest distinction. I was very good student, I would say, a good learner. I was also doing good job whether I'm teaching or doing analysis. So doing a good job is something I'm proud of the most. Of course, you have recognition down the road. So for example, at the end of before graduating from my PhD, I was recognized for my analysis by the state for a big project, you know, like an Educate Texas project. And this is like a large data set analysis. And there were a lot of universities in the, you know, data analysis teams in competition. Kind of, there is no competition like who is best, first, second, but, you know, the committee was looking who gets the analysis award, who gets the best, you know, policy or, you know, implementation award. So basically you are working on funded project, funded with a lot of money, with a lot of partners from the industry, like big names, and like from the government and from the private sector. So that was, before I graduated, great recognition as a data analyst and for a large project. I also reached the final stages, like the finalist. So for Harvard Strategic Data Fellow, this is a testing-based, you know, initiative to find like the data talents in the United States by Harvard Strategic Data Fellowship. I think that was the name. This was in 2018. And, you know, you do some tests here. And then I was very happy when Harvard said, we are paying you to come to our campus. Like, we are sending you the ticket, they like to fly there, and the hotel and everything, and, you know, to see you. So that was great, honestly. Like, you know, this is everything Harvard does is competitive in the United States. So you are competing with the best of the best, you know, in any field. So I was competing with the Harvard Strategic Data Fellows around the United States. So that was a great push for me, like for self-confidence. I am on the right track. So, you know, these come as checks. You're doing well. You're where you should be. So I think that was very motivating. I would say that was very motivating to be a finalist and to be like among these, like the best of the best who were selected to go to Harvard, and Harvard paid them. I'm proud that I could do a lot of, like, you know, degrees and classes funded from the university with funds. So I, you know, this is not easy to do, especially if you are doing a lot of degrees while you're there. So yeah, these are part of the achievements. I am now proud that in biostatistics, I am impacting health and life, you know, and this is very big and important thing. I am on very interesting project. I'm on big projects, and I'm impacting students too. Like when medical students come to me and say, you changed our way of thinking about research, I find myself very proud about this. This is very simple, but that's what I want. I could change, you know, a very smart, very brilliant young man or woman ideas about research in a positive way. That's good achievement too.
That's really inspiring.